Welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam,
I'm Peter. Hi.
and we're here for Alien Romulus today, a movie that I did not see until very recently because I don't like going to the movie theater, and I finally got to go to one where the theater was mostly empty.
Yeah, at this point, I don't think, especially
Three
with the
weeks out.
reviews,
Yeah.
a rated R horror movie, I don't think it's gonna have huge crowds. I saw it at 11 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, so it was
Mhm.
also pretty empty.
Yeah, that's the I've started to really love the Saturday morning movie because like you still have the entire rest of your day to do other stuff after that.
Yes, it
Um,
is just weird though sometimes getting out and they're like, oh, it's still bright out.
Yeah, it's like you get out and you're like, oh wait, it's only noon now.
Yeah.
Um, which like that's what I got to do next week for the 4:30 movie because they're only showing it at Regal and not all Regals.
Is it like a Fathom event?
No, it's like a full theatrical release, but only Regal gets it.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's
Especially because aren't they bankrupt now or something?
I don't think so. I think they're
Yeah.
still they're
I thought
hanging on.
they closed a bunch though, right?
I think yeah, they did close a bunch, but not, I think there are still two in the city of Albany for some reason that are about 3 miles apart.
Yeah, the one in downtown Seattle closed, and then the one in North Seattle is still open.
Yeah. I think they overexpanded. I think that that's going to be the thing with a lot of these theater chains is that they all kind of overexpanded a bit. Because like I mean Albany's the key example. You had the Regal at Colony and the Regal at Crossgates. They're what 3.5 miles apart, and they both have 15 screens at least, 14 screens at least.
Mhm.
Like, why do you need that? Like, I know it's a big college town, but I don't think you need that many from the same company.
Especially because it's in a mall too, so it's
Yeah,
that's like a whole extra cost if
right.
you're paying to stay open in a mall.
Yeah, because that was like when the first movie theater I used to go to was like an Odeon at the mall. It was like a four screen theater, and it was I remember seeing Tarzan there very specifically. Um, did you know that Alien is in the same universe as Blade Runner?
Remember hearing that somewhere. Is it just like Weyland Yutani is in Blade Runner or
I
something?
think I know for certain the corporation in Blade Runner is referenced in Aliens.
That's it. Okay, I was like, I think it's just the corporations. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like when you see it's Dallas in the file that says previous employer was it Tyrell?
Oh, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recognize the Blade Runner names as accurately or as well.
Uh, um And like I know you're bigger into the Alien franchise than I am because
I
like
love you.
you got into it younger, I assume, right? Like this is something where it's like,
Yeah, my parents, if they considered a movie to be a classic, then they would just let me watch it regardless of rating.
hmm.
It's because they thought Alien was a classic movie, then I was allowed to watch it when I was like 10 years old.
Well, they're not wrong. It is a classic movie.
So that's like that, The Godfather, like all that kind of stuff. But when I wanted to get a Smash Mouth CD, they read the lyrics for Smash Mouth.
I feel like, whoa,
Yeah, that was too
that's a
intense.
bridge too far.
But The Shining and The Godfather were fine when I was a child.
Yeah, I feel like The Shining is a little bit worse. Like The Godfather is relatively tame. Like when they show it on like Paramount Network, there aren't a ton of cuts, so it is relatively
There's just
tame.
the when he goes to Italy, there's one nude scene. I think
Oh yeah,
that was the first boobs I ever saw in the movie.
congratulations.
Hmm. That's how I'll never forget it.
Well, at least it was that and not The Shining.
Yeah, that could those are also very early, but much more traumatic, I guess.
Before we go to this, I wanted to get you on the record about Jurassic World 4.
Oh
So,
yeah.
because they did drop information, and I feel like as a resident Jurassic World or Jurassic Park expert,
Hmm.
we should address this before we go too much further. So we do have a plot synopsis. They put a picture out that was like the new logo, which I like the new logo. Um, Jurassic World Rebirth. And they put out a picture of Scarlett Johansson hiding in the forest of probably Tahiti, because I would assume that's why Colin Jost was doing the surfing coverage for the Olympics, is that they were shooting Jurassic World in Tahiti as well at the same time, I would assume.
Uh,
That feels like a safe bet. But Yeah, so the plot synopsis is now you did not like Dominion, right?
No, I think that might be the worst Jurassic Park movie of any of them.
I I feel like there were like three movies in that one, and like they picked the worst version of all three and then
And none
crammed
of
them into
them,
one movie.
the one without, they chose the plot without dinosaurs too.
Yeah. Which, like, look, I think that that's an interesting idea, is that it's like, okay, so we brought back dinosaurs, but like also somehow this also brings back like some of the other fucked up things from that era, because there were also giant bugs and other non-dinosaur creatures. Like, that's a cool idea. It's just poorly executed. And then the other thing is you spend the entire movie sitting there being like, well, no one's gonna die until everyone comes together because you have the entire cast of both Jurassic World and Jurassic Park in the
Hmm.
movie. And it's like they keep putting people in situations where someone could die. And it's like, but no one's going to until they all come together because you want that moment of them all sharing the screen.
And most of the movie was just like trying to get all the characters together. It was just like
Yeah.
explaining why these 15 people are going to be together.
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't need that. The new plot is 5 years after Dominion, the planet's ecology had proven largely inhospitable to dinosaurs, which makes sense. That just kind of
Well, it's
logically.
also like we're erasing the stupid world that these movies
Yeah,
set up. So
exactly.
all of the escaped dinosaurs are dead.
Yeah, we
So we
we
don't have
fixed
to
it.
worry about this again.
And it's just
And
Jurassic Planet.
the cloned humans and the genius scientist that cloned herself, just forget about her too.
Yeah, don't,
That
that
was the
that
other thing in Dominion. It was like
I forgot about that completely.
all these people that made the dinosaurs, actually they didn't do anything. This lady that you've never heard of, she actually did all of the
And cloned
science.
herself, and the girl
Yeah.
that's here is also that clone.
And that was the other thing, is like she's a genius scientist that's done everything good in the world, but also she's making like illegal clones of herself,
Yeah.
which is probably not that good of a science thing to do.
No, and then on top of that too, it's like that was also the big problem I had with Fallen Kingdom, where it's like the little girl's like, well, I'm a clone and I should be free, so let's release all the dinosaurs.
Yes, yes.
And Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard was like, yeah, that tracks. Go ahead, do it.
That's literally, if she was like a AI, she would be like the evil AI, where it's like
Yeah.
I'm releasing this onto the world or
Yeah, it's
something.
like why would you be like this is a good idea. Let's do this. Um so the remaining dinosaurs exist in isolated equatorial environments with climates resembling the one in which they most thrived. The three most colossal creatures within that tropical biosphere hold the key to a drug that will bring miraculous life-saving benefits to humankind. So it's kind of like the whales that have the secret to immortality in their spinal fluid
Oh yeah, and
in Avatar 2.
Avatar.
Um, Scarlett Johansson is Zora Bennett, who is contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission to secure genetic material from the world's three most massive dinosaurs.
My
Uh,
only issue with this plot is that all of these dinosaurs were already made in a lab, so all of their genetic material was already in a lab.
that's a great point.
So none of these animals are they didn't naturally discover the dinosaurs. They even explain that all of them are like made up. They're not
And
even
also, like
dinosaurs, they're just like made up creatures.
in Jurassic, yeah, because that doesn't Wu say that in Jurassic World, where he's like,
Yeah.
"This is not accurate to what these dinosaurs looked like. You wanted them to be scary." Like,
Yeah, they just like picked and chose between other animals to like create them.
right, and also it's like it's the thing where it's like dinosaurs could have had feathers because if you look at the skeleton of a penguin, it's like you would not assume that it looks like a penguin based on what the skeleton is. If you just assume
Yeah.
that it's, very lizard-like. But fucking dog's barking outside the door now. But the other thing with this is I think Gareth Edwards is a great choice for this kind of movie
Hmm.
because it does kind of have like that Godzilla kind of vibe to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that his Godzilla movie was really good. Um, so yeah, I think that that's going to
I'm
be an
definitely
issue.
going to see it because I saw the last one. And
I think if you suffer through the last one, you'll figure out
I
what it's
like
trying to
Jurassic
do.
World. I think Jurassic World is a good Jurassic Park movie.
Mhm.
I think I like it more than The Lost World has some good stuff in it. Jurassic Park 3 is not good.
I think the
Um,
the Fallen Kingdom has a good first half premise, and then they go to the mansion.
yeah, it's literally the problem with The Lost World too. The Lost World is good while they're on the island, and then it
Yeah,
sucks when they go to San Diego. And it's the
Yeah,
same thing where it's good, and then they go to the mansion, and it just becomes an awful horror movie.
I mean, look, that said, it does also make Jurassic World a little bit weird because it's like, so wait, if this volcano was going to erupt on this island anyway, then like, why did
Why
you
did you
build a
build?
theme park on this island? Like, if this is an active volcano that's going to destroy everything and kill everything, why did you build a multi-billion-dollar theme park with the Indominus Rex sponsored by Verizon and a
In the
Margaritaville?
um in the original book, they detonate a bunch of bombs inside of a volcano and then carpet bomb the island and just kill all the dinosaurs at once.
Nice. Good idea. Which feels like the right way to handle it because it's like we don't want this getting out instead of just like let this 9-year-old girl like go ahead, dinosaurs, have fun. Um, but yeah, so back to Alien. I wanted to address that real quick, but back to Alien. No, not Requiem. Requiem was Alien vs Predator 2. Um, Romulus.
Yes.
Um, I enjoyed it. Um, for me, I've only ever seen two Alien movies. I've seen the two good ones, Requiem
Hmm.
and Prometheus. No, I'm kidding. I've seen Alien and Aliens. Um, and I I really like Kaylee Spaney.
Hmm.
She's a really good actress. She was in Civil War. She was really good in that, and she was also Priscilla Presley in
Oh
the
yeah,
more accurate biopic.
that's where I
Um,
recognize her from.
yeah, she was really good in that too. And I liked her in this. The other girl who was in Transformers was good in this too. What's her name? Isabella Merced.
Was she the pregnant one?
She was Kay. Yeah, the pregnant sister.
Yes.
Yes. She was what's it called? She's also Hawk Girl in the new Superman movie. But she was good. She also played Dora the Explorer. But yeah, I like that they really committed to the practical, which is something that I
Yeah,
really
I like
appreciated.
that. I'll say they did an amazing job making it feel like an alien movie, like that it was in the alien universe
Yes.
and like the ship and everything. Um, the things that I did like about it was how they introduced the android, where it was off the bat she has the android like brother, like
Hmm.
friend kind of thing, and that he's like a good android. So they didn't waste our time because so many other movies, it's a secret who's an android or the android is evil, like Prometheus, and the other one is the evil android.
Yeah, I've never seen
Um,
Prometheus.
I
But
like
like
Prometheus.
that's why I was a
Uh,
late bloomer getting to Alien was that it's like for most of our life, if not all of our lives, the Alien movies have been bad.
Yes, this is the thing where the universe was not meant to be this deeply delved into, and it's kind of similar to Jurassic Park, where there's like these super fans that have read all the comics and these
Hmm.
weird video games that I guess are technically canon, and
Like
now are
Isolation.
yeah, yeah, and then they're obsessed with it, and they think any deviation of it is like this awful sin. When each movie deviates from what has already been established, and the games too just make things up constantly. Like in the original Alien, the engineer they find is like
Mhm.
18 feet tall, and then the other engineers later in like Prometheus and in this movie too are just like bigger than humans, but not like massive. So they're
Right.
and then and this one, what they changed that people were so angry about was they showed how the alien goes into like a cocoon thing or like a giant vagina basically on the
Nice.
wall. And then it comes out fully grown because you don't really see that in the other ones. The other ones you see like if you find its skin shedding
Hmm.
after it's tiny and it gets big. But this is like the first one that did that. But even that I hated that character probably the most. The character that to justify killing him, they made him mad or mean to the android,
Right.
and that and then
It's like
how
what you
he
said
got
about Barbarian, where it's like you have to have someone be an asshole and then you can kill
yeah.
them.
This is one of my biggest problems with all horror movies. This is from like the 70s until now, where they justify killing someone. So it used to be they would justify killing people. They would be like bad, like they would break like Christian norms, basically.
Hmm.
Now they're just a huge asshole or like
Yeah.
are mean to people, and they're like, okay, well this guy is definitely gonna die.
Well, I
Um,
think it's just that way. It's like at the end of the day, if you're gonna have a movie where you're gonna have a high body count, but look, if you're not meant to be rooting for the killer. So like, why does it matter if they're only killing bad people?
That's my problem because
And
it's
they're R-rated movies. It's not like these are meant for kids where it's like you're trying to send a message, see if you're bad, then Jason
yeah.
Voorhees is gonna kill you. Like these are rated R movies.
And
Like
it's like, why do I care about if this character is such awful friends? Like, why am I going to be rooting for her? Because
right.
it's like, why is she, is her best, if her like brother is an android, why is she such good friends with this guy that despises androids
Yeah.
and is now just finding out about his hatred of androids too, apparently.
Yeah,
Um,
it's weird. Like I don't like that they do that because it telegraphs too quickly. Okay, well this guy's gonna die at some point in the movie.
yeah, and then the way he died, like, was awful, where he just laid down and let the acid blood slowly drip onto him, and then just slowly disintegrated that way.
That seems
Um,
that's like a miserable way to go. Like I don't know. I would try to find a faster way to
yeah,
do that than just like slowly dissolve to death.
yeah. And then the thing that took me out of it, where I like disliked the movie after, was them putting Ash into the movie.
Oh, the
The
CGI
the
de-aging.
yeah, the android from the first movie. Because he's in the first movie, he's like a secret android, and
Hmm.
they're not supposed to know he's an android. And it's like all these little hints, like 2 days before they left, he was replaced. Um, and when you watch the original movie, when they're waking up from cryo sleep, he doesn't seem groggy at all. He just like is up and awake. But then they wouldn't have made like, I don't know. I think it's dumb that they just had happened to have the exact same android in the space, this like this space station above them.
Yeah,
And then
it's
did
weird.
you watch the end of the at the end when the spaceship blows up? When there's literally like 3 or 4 nuclear explosions going off in space, but then there's all this wreckage that they find after too. It's
Yeah,
like the
that's
end of Star Wars when it's like the Death Star explodes and it's
yeah,
like, all
and then
right,
it's
don't
like, oh,
worry,
and here's
half
all
of
the
it
Death
is
Star pieces
yeah.
just laying in the ocean on fucking this moon of Endor that no one's ever heard of before. What?
Yeah, so I like that because in the Aliens takes place like over 60 years after Alien. So I
Yeah.
think that's fine with the timeline. But that they find that there's another little thing that I didn't see in the original movie, but the director confirmed it, where the same model of Ripley's spacecraft that she escapes on
Hmm.
is like captured by the company at some point in the beginning of the movie too. So now they're changing that where it's like, oh, Ripley was also, she's been captured by the company for 40 years and they just kept her in cryo sleep and then woke her up for aliens. It's like all these little things that don't make sense now.
Yeah, well, that's inherently the issue with like trying to make an interquel where it's like this takes place in the middle, and you can't have it too separated from the proceedings because if you do make it too separated, then people will be like, "Why should I care?" Besides the
Yeah.
fact that this is just in the same universe, and then if you make it too connected, then you get the nitpicky of like, well, it doesn't 100% congruous like line up, perfectly, and I don't know. For me, it's not something that bothers me as much anymore. Where it's like, because it's like, look, it's not going to perfectly line up. And again, these aren't documentaries. They're like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a living work of fiction in a weird way, where they're just continually adding to it. So like, even things like retcons don't bother me anymore. Where it's like, all right, fuck it, moving on. Like,
Mhm.
do whatever you need to make this movie work. I think this movie did work. And I think it's who is this? Feed Alvarez.
Yeah.
He's good. Um.
So this is this is another problem I have with the movie.
Oh God.
So I was extremely excited for him to be the director because
Mhm.
he directed the Evil Dead remake from 2013.
Okay.
And I think so he already did a franchise like remake.
Right.
And that's I think the best horror remake is that Evil Dead one from 2013.
Hmm.
The gore is amazing, and I think this movie had awful gore. Like it was pretty much compared to other horror movies coming out now, and him specifically, the gore was pretty much non-existent. I thought,
Well,
and I
I do wonder if that has something to do with the fact that like this is Disney trying, because at the end of the day, this is a 20th century property, so it is
mhm.
Disney. This is Disney trying to build a property more than it is them trying to do that. Because I think at the end, if you do gore for shock value, you will lose people.
Yeah.
And I think that's the trade-off for doing a $200 million movie in a franchise where it's like, look, we do need to get asses in seats at the end of the day. And I think that they're afraid that the gore is going to turn people off.
But I also like Barbarians, the newest Evil Dead movie. I feel like what a lot of people liked about them was the extreme gore. And with an Alien movie, that's like what's your I feel like those are the movies you expect to have that kind of extreme gore. Like Prometheus has they show an abortion scene where
Nice.
a lady gets she has to go get an abortion to get the alien ripped out of her. And then like Covenant 2 has like a bunch of gross like body horror stuff. So that's why I really think they dropped the ball with the gore, even if it is
Oh no,
a
I think
decent
I think it was a
decision.
mistake to do it, but like
Yeah.
I understand the thought process behind it because it's
Yeah.
like
And
that was the
that
thing is that it's like Evil Dead. What was it? Evil Dead Rise last year. That had like a
mhm,
$10 million budget. It was the most successful movie of last year because it made
yeah.
like 200 on a $10 million budget. Like you can take
Yeah.
that risk.
And that I'm blaming Disney for.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that's the director's decision, but that's part of why I think I had extremely high expectations for this movie, and
Mhm.
that none of them were met. So I think that's why I'm a little bit more critical or like annoyed by it.
See, I think I'm more high on it because, like, again, I've seen Alien, I've seen Aliens. I haven't seen any of the ones in between. I just have heard constantly. It's kind of like, for me, Alien is closer to like Predator or
Mhm.
Terminator, where they have really good early, like Predator and Predator 2 or Predators are both classic movie. Terminator and T2 are both classics. Everything that came after them, dog shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you can sit here, you can be a Rise of the Machines apologist all you want, and they are out there, the Rise of the Machines, boosters. It's a shitty movie. It does not matter. And that's kind of where this was, where it's like I don't really want to watch these because it's like
Mhm.
they don't improve in quality. So seeing this, I was like, all right, this is good. Like they're trying something. It's different, and I think it works for the most part. And it's
Yeah.
like maybe
Alien
not within the
3
franchise, but
Alien 3 is like Rise of the Machines, where there's people that are like, actually, I like Alien 3 because
right.
it's David Fincher's first movie, I think. So a lot of people like it for that. But
It's
it's
probably
boring.
stylized well.
It's boring. That's the problem.
Hmm.
It's like not a, there's so many scenes that are just these long drawn out like scenes. And Alien 4 gets crazy. So there's a human alien. She's comes back. It's like 1,000 years later in Alien 4,
Hmm.
and she's like part alien. And then
Nice.
there's a alien human hybrid that gets birthed, and she can like talk to it, and it like fights the alien queen. So it's all just like crazy stuff happens like that. So I'm happy. In this one, they just went for the shock value. This is where the gore I think picked up at the end when they showed this pregnant girl, and I was like, all right, there's something better happen with this baby. Because it's literally that's I'm fine with that in a horror movie where they like introduce this girl, and the only reason they're introducing her is something fucked up has to happen with this fetus or with
Yeah.
this baby. That I'm 100% fine with because that's like kind of interesting.
Hmm.
I do think it's funny. They're like, okay, we already have this guy. He's the love interest. We have this pregnant lady. She has to be his sister because we already have like couples already set up for this.
Yeah.
So and then what I thought was dumb though is they had this whole the black goo thing. So all the do you know anything about the black goo?
No.
Like the so that's all from Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I was really surprised they put that in there because that's this whole like convoluted stuff with the engineers, and they make this life goo that
Nice.
like is like a DNA catalyst, and they drank
So
it,
it's
and that's
cum.
basically because that's what like started humanity. It's extremely complicated, and I'm really that's why I'm surprised they put it in. Because it's like humanity began by one of those giant white aliens drinking the black goo, and then his DNA split and became human. But then
Nice.
it also kills everything as well. So it's like this weird, just it's like a plot. It's basically just plot goo, I guess, because
Yeah.
it just does whatever the
What
writer
what
needs
do
it
you
to
need it
do.
to do? It can do that in this minute.
Yeah. So that's why this one, it's like, oh, it can save anyone. So I thought for sure the brother is going to inject it. But they do this weird thing where the brother doesn't inject it, and then the pregnant girl's like, sweet. And she just like takes this black goo and gives it to herself like right away. But I guess to save her baby. But yeah, when then that thing shoots out of her, that was great. And it's like this gross that's the white alien monsters that created the aliens too.
Oh, okay.
That's an alien when they find that giant thing that's like wearing a it's like wearing a mask, and it's like
Yeah.
in that big seat. Those are giant white humanoid aliens, and he's wearing like a helmet over his head. So that was like this weird hybrid of all of those together.
And I do really
So
like the world they've built in this idea, like the way they've built, like it feels like I don't want to say dirty and grimy, but like there's a certain like grittiness to the way that they've laid out everything here. Like
Yeah.
across, the three movies I've seen, there's like it's not the sterile future you're used to seeing. It's very blue collar future, I guess.
That's why it's great because it's especially in the original one, they're not these like scientists. It's like in the future, like that's like industry is what took over space exploration. You don't need to be a scientist. That's why they're
Hmm.
just like truckers almost. So they're just
Yeah,
hauling back stuff. And then this one too, yeah, I like how much they go into the corporation more, and it's like this fucked up dystopian like slave labor basically.
right.
Because
Which,
that's in the original too. They go into like the health. Because in the original, they're woken up from their deep sleep and they think they're at Earth, but it's that the corporation woke them up to investigate stuff, and it's like secretly in their contracts they have to do all this.
right. Um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it was, like I said, I'm not the biggest Alien, entire franchise fan. So it was one of those things where it's like, like you had to point out to me all the things that were from the later movies.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw it with people didn't know Alien as well, and those are the people that liked it, and then the
yeah,
other person I saw with that is loves Alien didn't like it.
yeah, I don't. I mean, granted, I'm also the guy who likes, The Last Jedi, and I know I'm in the minority on that, or I'm in. I think it's about 50-50 on that, and I don't think anyone's neutral on it. But it's just like try something, let's see if it works. It doesn't have to 100% connect in perfectly with everything else. Like, you know, give me like try something new in a franchise. Just, don't
Yeah,
just do the same thing over. I mean, granted, this feels very similar, but like, don't just, try, for lack of a better
yeah.
word.
And this one, I liked how they really simplified it because Prometheus and Covenant have extremely complicated plots that are more confusing than anything. So this one's much nicer, where just they go to basically a space station. There's aliens. That's it.
Because we were in high school when not Covenant, when
Prometheus. Yeah.
Prometheus came out, and I remember people complaining about it and being like, it's so confusing, and I'm like,
Yeah, because it goes into
okay.
like the history of man and like the philosophy of like gods and humans and like who meeting your creator, and it's just way too much for an alien movie.
Is this the big was that the beginning of Ridley Scott's like shitty movie era, or was that like, or had that already started by the time we got to this?
I think he's always been hit or miss where it's like things on paper that seemingly would work and then he just completely messes it up and then something that doesn't seem to work he'll nail.
Well, like his last two movies were shit. Well, no, I mean, shit's too
The
much.
his last good movie would that be the last duel or the I thought that
I
was
I
good.
didn't hate the last duel. It's just way too fucking long.
Mhm. But I that's better than the Lady Gaga one, right?
Oh my God, that one was terrible. House of
That I didn't
Gucci.
watch that one.
House
The
of
last
Gucci started this weird thing that we're in now with Adam Driver, where he plays Italian Titans of
yeah,
Industries doing a ridiculous Italian accent.
and he
Um,
like defends it too. He's just like, "Well, I'm an actor. Like
yeah.
this is I'm acting."
But the thing is too, it's like you're playing an Italian person in Italy. They wouldn't be speaking English with an Italian accent.
Yeah, exactly.
And
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 Lady
look,
Gaga's accent too.
and in how no no no, but the thing is they don't have the worst accents in House of Gucci. The worst accent in House of Gucci is Jared Leto.
Yes, I've
It
looked up videos of that guy actually talking, and
yeah.
it's not even close to what he sounds like.
Oh, he doesn't sound like Super Mario.
No.
Like it's unreal. But like Napoleon wasn't great. House of Gucci wasn't
Oh,
great.
Napoleon. I like Napoleon, but yeah,
It was fine. I mean, but like I didn't leave. It felt like a History Channel documentary about Napoleon's life, where it's like you don't really get into the why of anything.
yeah. I didn't feel like the classic like historical epics it was trying to be, like Lawrence of Arabia or like Cleopatra or one of
Right.
those.
And I'm looking back at his film. I pulled up his filmography. I think that Prometheus was kind of toward the beginning of his. He had one good movie really after Prometheus, and that was The Martian.
That was I forgot he did The Martian too, because
Um,
he kept trying to make Prometheus, and the studios wouldn't let him. They're just like, no, we don't want. We just want another Alien sequel.
because like if you look at him through the 2000s, he did Hannibal and Black Hawk Down, Matchstick Men,
Oh man,
Kingdom of Heaven, A Good Year, American Gangster, which was a perennial at Walgreens. Every time it was Father's Day, that came in the collection of DVDs to sell. I don't know why. That's a Father's Day movie, apparently. Body of Lies, Robin Hood, Prometheus, The
Oh, Robin
Counselor.
Hood.
Which what the fuck's The Counselor? Oh, Cormac McCarthy. Exodus, Gods and Kings, which is probably
I
the
remember
weakest
that
in his
one.
filmography. Um, The Martian, Alien Covenant, All the Money in the World, which is the one that had to reshoot to add
Oh,
Christopher
yes.
Plummer in.
I saw
Uh,
that in theaters. It was awful.
yeah, The Last Duel, which I saw that in the theater, but it's like 2.5 hours long, and I'm like, I don't know if it needed to be this long. Especially considering you're just watching the same thing from three different perspectives,
Mhm.
and there's not a terrible amount of deviation in the plot. House of Gucci, Napoleon, and then this year Gladiator 2, which he
Oh, yes.
says, and I quote, "This is the greatest movie I've ever made."
I probably will not see Gladiator 2.
Oh no, I will, because I'm excited that this will be a complete pile of shit.
It just looks like it's going to be the exact same plot as the first Gladiator.
Have you watched either of the football games this season?
Oh yeah.
Because
Mhm.
they did you see the ad for Gladiator 2 with Megan Thee Stallion?
No, I've found like a little hack where I just
Ah,
read and mute the TV during commercials now,
ah.
especially during sports games because it's the exact same like 8 commercials just over and over again.
Yeah, there's an ad for Gladiator 2 that it looks like it's shot in that same place where they shot that Aspercream commercial a few years ago with like the Amazonian women. Like it
Mhm.
looks like that same kind of weird CGI like stage environment, but it's Megan Thee Stallion, and then you get to the end and it's like Gladiator 2 in theaters this November. I'm like, who is this for? Because who's gonna watch this trailer with a woman who's not in the movie?
Yeah.
And this has
Maybe
nothing to do with the movie.
did she make like a song for
No,
Gladiator 2?
maybe.
That'd be great if
Um,
just in the middle of the movie, a
yeah.
Megan Thee Stallion song starts playing.
But it's like, and by the way, I think last night's game was a scathing indictment of the Giants.
Oh, with Saquon Barkley
Yeah,
getting 3 touchdowns.
yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah, that was
fuck,
disappointing. It
yeah,
was nice
that,
seeing multiple interceptions though from Jalen Hurts
yeah,
and him getting hit and just dropping the ball
yeah.
from the center.
Like it's kind of it's one of the things where I watched it. I'm like, first of all, fuck you for not re-signing him, and then also fuck you for not giving him an offensive line so he could do this for the Giants at any point during the 6 years he played there. Like,
Yep.
but yeah, it's
But I'd rather him do well
yeah.
than like Odell Beckham Jr. doing well after he left the Giants.
He has a new commercial too, where I saw that last night during the game, where he's sitting there and he's like, "We gotta wait, we gotta wait, we gotta wait." I forgot what the commercial was for, but it's like we gotta wait and relax. And it's like, well, you've been doing a lot of that because you sit here on your ass, like, and like, who's gonna take me? And it's like, are his stats that good that he can play this game every year
Mhm.
and everyone falls for this bullshit? Like,
And doesn't he technically have a ring with the Rams? And because he was like on them during the playoffs or something. Because
maybe
I think he got hurt like at the Super Bowl, so he technically has a Super Bowl ring from them, even though he didn't play in the Super Bowl.
that's possible, but like this team hopping bullshit has to stop. So I ask this every time. Is there any movies that you're looking forward to in the back half of the year?
Um, Long Legs coming out on Blu-ray or 4K probably. That one, I guess, yeah, I haven't seen that. That's one of the best movies I've seen in a while. Long Legs. It was I saw that at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Um,
I'm gonna watch that when it comes to home media. I think it is on
a lot of
DVOD.
people hated it too, so it's very divisive.
Hmm.
I it was like the perfect amount of just weird and creepy and just very tense, where it has very little gore. Actually, I would say it's more of like a mystery, like suspense movie than anything else.
Mhm.
Uh, and I like it because it doesn't need to explain everything.
Right.
Like it just is in this world. It also takes place in the 90s in Oregon. So you just find that out very slowly. Like there's a picture of Bill Clinton in someone's office.
Well, I figured out it took place in the 90s from the trailer. The trailer just kind of gives that vibe where it's like this
Hmm.
is not modern day. It's like there's
Yeah.
like one street that they shoot on when a TV show set in the 70s. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like there's that new show on Peacock with Kevin Hart and Sam
Oh, I
Jackson.
thought that was a movie. They
No, it's
showed that a bunch during the
yeah,
games.
yeah. That show, there's like that one shot of that street, and it's like anytime like it looked like the same street that the black phone was shot on. Like it's like this is just 70s Avenue, I guess.
Mhm.
But like yeah, I was watching that. I saw that trailer. It was like this is set in the 90s or like, late 80s, something like that. Um
Isn't the Dune TV show coming out this year?
Allegedly, we don't have it's weird. We have a release date. I mean, next week is Penguin. Is it this week? The 16th is Penguin. I'm only pull my calendar up. Let me look at my phone. Hang on, I have it. I asked for screeners of the Penguin. They said, "Yeah, we'll put you on the list," and then I haven't gotten them yet. The 19th is Penguin. And Agatha All Along. Um, then that runs through November 8th. Then Dune Prophecy would be somewhere in November. We don't have an exact release date yet.
Oh, Terrifier 3 is coming out. I'll probably see that. That's the clown one.
Yeah, is that the one where the second one it's like people were throwing up in the theater from the gore?
Yes. I will say that one, the the gore is inventive, but it becomes a little bit boring after a bit because it's just they just take a little bit too much like
Hmm.
time with it. Oh, I found another movie I'm excited for.
What
God's Not Dead 5.
is that really the fifth one? I thought it was the third.
In God We Trust.
Is this I saw an article from the Hollywood Reporter that the studios are afraid to release a movie the week of Election Day
Well, oh, the people are not going to see it.
because they don't want to be overshadowed by the news of because
Oh, bad idea.
if Election Day is Tuesday, they aren't 100% certain they're going to have a concrete election result by Friday,
Mhm.
and the ad spend in the weeks leading up to it is going to be ridiculous because of the amount of political ads. So the networks are jacking up the prices
Ah,
for those
smart.
spots. So they're like, we're just gonna release it after. We're release stuff after. That's why
Oh,
Venom moved up a week.
I have two that I'm excited for. The War of Rohirrim movie, the Lord of the
Yes, I
Rings
saw the
one,
trailer for that the other day.
and that one I have hope for. The Rings of Power I just won't watch this season two.
I'm gonna watch it. I haven't started yet, but I am gonna watch it.
And then the Nosferatu movie I'm
Oh
excited for.
yeah, you have that on your list for
That's
the
but
for the
that doesn't
draft.
come out until Christmas. They already have a trailer for it, but it's not for a while.
Yeah, you have. Do you think Lily Rose Depp is a good actress?
For the part she's playing, she'll be fine. She's in a coma for like half the book,
Oh, okay,
so
all right.
she's basically she plays Dracula's like main victim.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like sleepwalking and in a coma and like sick the whole time, and so I think for that she'll be good.
Right.
The main Nina is like the main character that is like the main protagonist from the book.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the whoever the other lead actress is was probably that person.
I don't know who
She's
that is.
also the main lady in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. She's like the main character.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, for me, I think it's just Sonic 3.
Yeah, that's
That
the other
Lord of the
one.
Rings movie looks great. Sonic 3. Did you see the trailer for Sonic 3?
Yes, I think I watched during football. It came on.
Yeah, that little girl getting shot in the movie by a cop is gonna have the same reaction as Spider-Man showing up in Avengers Endgame if you go to that opening night. Um, yeah, that I remember distinctly when we saw Civil War, I clapped at one point and you glared at me. I feel like that's gonna happen if they do an orchestral version of Live and Learn in the third act.
Oh
That
yeah,
that's gonna hit.
I just want them to include the prototype of the ultimate life
Oh,
form.
the
That's all I
giant
want.
fucking lizard
Yeah,
that gets the edge
the
of the
giant
space station
like
up its ass.
plesiosaur basically. And I hope they blow up the moon too.
Oh God, I hope they just commit to it fully.
Mhm.
That I don't know if they're going to. I like that Jim Carrey keeps announcing he's retiring from acting and then coming back to do a Sonic movie.
Yes.
Like but that's gonna be good. Lord of the Rings is gonna be good. Um, Unfortunately, I'm seeing Joker a week early. Because they're doing an advanced screening of that at AMC.
Mhm.
Um, Joker 2 only got a 10-minute ovation at Venice,
Only.
which no, but for film festivals, that is the equivalent of throwing tomatoes at the screen.
That's it. It's the same with like Broadway shows. If you go see them live,
Mhm.
people literally jump out of their seat to be the first one to give a standing ovation every single show.
Well, it's not just that, but also when you go to like Venice is one of the big ones. I've never been to one of the big festivals. Like I've never been to Sundance or Toronto or Venice or Berlin,
Mhm.
but these are the big ones. So like everyone shows up. So like they do like the reason why it's a 10-minute ovation or a 15-minute ovation is because like it's like and here's the director, here's Todd Phillips, oh, here's Lady Gaga, here's Joaquin Phoenix, and it's like so it's that. If you get 10 minutes, that's the bare minimum you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Like it's it I have and every time I see that trailer, my first thought is always the same thing. How did this movie cost $10 million more than Dune Part 2?
Yeah.
Every single time, that's the first thing I think.
Or it's like, why were the studios put this much money?
That's the thing
Like
is that the
who's like
success,
who's bad at spending or like budgeting this amount of money
the
compared to
suc
Dune?
the success about Joker was that it only cost like $40 million,
Hmm.
and then it grossed 800. Like I get you want to do a musical, and that is where the money went. The money went toward if they do the musical
Writing,
right,
yeah.
not writing the songs, the human set design, which is
Oh
the
yeah, yeah.
extras, the
Mhm.
dancers, and all that. That's a very expensive proposition. So I get that has to be where the money went if they did it right. I don't know they did because they're hiding the fact that it's a musical in the trailers, so you can't see that.
Yeah, I watched a trailer of someone and I was like, "Did you know that's a musical?" And they didn't believe me. I had to look it up because it does not show you at all. It's like the Mean Girls musical. They like hid that
Yeah,
it's a musical.
Mean Girls, Wicked for some reason are hiding that it's a
Yeah, that's
musical,
a funny
Des
one.
despite the fact that it's the most famous musical on the
And it's
planet.
and they're splitting it into two parts too.
Well,
For
you know
with
what it is. The hiding it's a musical comes from the fuck up with In the Heights.
Mhm.
They thought the reason In the Heights bombed was because it they showed that it was a musical in the trailer. Like the
Yeah.
trailer was just 96,000, was just the entire musical number for 96,000 people. I'm not gonna go see that. No, the problem is you released it in June of 2021 and people weren't going back to the theater
Mhm.
yet.
And by that time, most people had already saw Hamilton and they realized the music sounds exactly the same as Hamilton
Well,
music.
but still. Like, I don't know. It's oh yeah, that's true. Hamilton had gone on Disney Plus because that was a pandemic thing. Like, yeah, the fact that it was a musical was not why it bombed. It's you just dumped it out in the middle of
Mhm.
June and you spent too much money on it. Um, it's I don't know. I don't know why you're hiding it that it's and I don't think Wicked's gonna make that much money.
I'm not gonna see it. I don't think Wicked's that good.
Like
It has a few amazing songs, but the play itself is not very good.
every time I see the trailer, I want to punch Ariana Grande in the face
Yeah, she also kind of sucks.
because she's just very annoying. And not only from the fact that she looks annoying in the movie and she is annoying in the trailer, it's the punching in the face has nothing to do with this, but like reading Jeanette McCurdy's book really made me hate her as a person.
I've always since she licked donuts at that donut place,
Oh, that oh no,
I've
that
always
was
been a
just
truther.
that was kind of just a public showing of what she always was, and they kind of kept it masked when they worked at Nickelodeon. But apparently, she's always been kind of a little bit of a bitch.
Yeah, I
Like,
definitely see that.
yeah. But we'll wrap up there for today because it is, we talked about Alien. That's what we're here for. See Alien
Mhm.
if you haven't seen it. Would you say because we didn't do the rating scale. Would you say see it in the theater or would you say wait for it to go to DVD?
Oh, that's hard. I enjoyed seeing in theaters. There is pretty loud at some parts. I would say it's worth seeing in theaters.
Yeah, I would like for me, I would say this is the way that I normally rate is like five to see it opening day, four you can wait. Up to this point doesn't matter. Three, wait for home media. Two, what's it called? Two, wait for it to be on a streaming service you own. One, don't see it at all.
Yeah,
This is like a
I would
4.
say four. Yeah.
Yeah,
For I guess quality movie out of a 10, I would give it for me it's like a 6.5.
I would say like a solid like 8. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would,
Yeah,
considering
it's
I'm
just
a giant pussy.
I'm just like annoying about it, I guess. I guess that's for
I'm,
me and like the other
I'm
alien
nitpicky.
people. But there's other people that like despised it because it like changed a like one thing from a comic 20 years ago.
Well, I mean, look, people boycotted the Acolyte because they retconned a fucking CD-ROM thing that said how old Coyote
Yeah.
Mundi was. Like, yeah, that's what that was. That's why you didn't watch it, not the fact that the movie
Those are
whack.
yeah. That's like I fall somewhere in the middle between those groups of people.
Yeah, the CD-ROM game, the CD-ROM encyclopedia for Phantom Menace had
Mhm.
his age listed, and that got retconned. Um, but we'll wrap up there for today. The next episode we'll be doing is next week we have Transformers 1 on Saturday and the 4:30 movie on Sunday because I'm gonna drive all the way to fucking Deer Park to see that. Until our next episode, have a great rest of your week.